I'm going to review my American Defense Manufacturing scope mounts. These scope mounts are available in a variety of configurations. They have vertical split rings, horizontal split rings, various tube sizes so you can fit basically any scope on the market, different offset heights, different offsets as far as being directly over the rail or offset forwards. They have them in 1 and 2 lock configurations. Literally, they have an option for everything. I have 2. This is a 20 MOA offset mount for a 30 millimeter scope tube. This is a parallel, not offset mount for a 34 millimeter scope tube. And I like these because I can switch them very quickly. I switch this one between bolt guns that have 20 MOA rails, and I switch this one between ARs that have flat top parallel rails. I described the different options that American Defense Manufacturing has for scope mounts, but they have mounts for every type of optic, for EOTechs, for magnifiers, for aim points, as well as every scope option. They have mounts for other applications, like this is a mount for a bipod onto a Picatinny rail, that same mechanism to lock it into place. So the way these work are, this bolt fits in the slot in the Picatinny rail, and then this is a cam, and when you cam it, it clamps down this on both sides of the Picatinny rail. So this lever arm replaces what would normally be a hex bolt to torque down the other side of the mount onto the Picatinny rail. And the way they lock is this little lever arm, this lock, prevents you from lifting this unless you toggle it out of the way. That lever arm actually fits in that flat right there. You can't see it too well, but you'll watch that lever, this lock click into place as it goes down. It clicked into place, so now I can't open this mount unless I lift it out of the way. And the way you adjust them for different rail sizes is you push the mount through in the unlocked position, and then you can tighten and loosen that lock nut. So you tighten it one hex flat at a time until you find out where it fits snug. I think the instructions say you should be able to close it with one hand. And I'll show this coming on and off. It's very simple to install. You get the cross bolts to line up with a gap in the Picatinny rail, and then tighten the lever arms. So that scope won't come off unless you intentionally push the center unlocking mechanism to take it off. So what I like about these is the fact that they don't require any tools. Doesn't require any tools, no torque wrenches. I can take 2 rifles to the range and I can swap this optic back and forth between them with no tools very quickly in the field. Switching between optics in the field, I have a mark on my Picatinny rails, so I know about where this wants to be set up to have the right eye relief on the different rifles. But switching between different rifles, you're going to have some movement. You're going to have to dial the scope, take a shot, dial the scope to get it point of aim to match the point of impact. And that's always going to happen because the rails are different, the height off the barrel is different, all kinds of differences there. But when you put it on and off of one single rifle, it should return to the same spot every time. So like I said, taking the scope on and off the same rifle should return to exactly the same spot. That would kind of test the repeatability of this mount. So using this Accuracy International AT rifle and that Vortex scope, I did this test. I fired a baseline 3-shot group. I then took the scope off, put it back on, fired another 3-shot group, 1 shot and 2 shots, took the scope off again, put it back on, fired another 3-shot group, 1 shot, 2 shots, and I continued that for 5 separate times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Removing the optic each time, putting it back on, and then firing a 3-shot group. And I also did notice this. I had a first round drift on every one. This was my first round impact, first. I'm not sure which of those three. I think that one. And this was the first. And what that may have been was me not fully seating the optic forward such that the first recoil impulse seated everything flat, and then it was repeatable after that. So I would call this very repeatable return to zero. At 100 yards, it probably never moved more than 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch from its original impact. You know, taking it off and putting it on 5 separate times, that point of impact never really shifted much. Again, the first round might have been off by a little bit, but after that seated in recoil, it all stayed where it was. And that could be because perhaps I didn't have the scope tight enough on the rail. I could try it again with tightening it up a little bit so that it would be less likely to move after 1 shot. So the American Defense Manufacturing scope mounts, I think they're great, high quality, very repeatable attachment, easy attachment without any tools in the field, and they have every option available for any configuration you want. So, I highly recommend them. I think it's a great quality mount. If you enjoyed this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos. As always, thank you for watching.